This is not how I imagined my first day.
Hey there guys, it's Avidexpert, and today I'm going to be doing quite an interesting video indeed. You see, what this is going to be is basically a review of Resident Evil 2, a very serious one indeed. You see, I have no prior knowledge to the Resident Evil series, and one of my friends recently recommended the game to me, so I'm going to be reviewing the trailer and gameplay that we have been shown so far, and basically give my summary of the details that I've seen so far. I also want to give a very special shout out to Jeff. You see, I rehired him. He's been a very good friend for a very long time, and he is very much into Resident Evil, and whenever I had any questions about any of the gameplay or story, because I was a little bit confused being new to the franchise and all, he was there to provide critical analytical assistance.
This is not how I imagined my first day.
Now you see, when I asked my friend Jeff why it was that this character, and his name is apparently Frank, why he didn't imagine this to be his first day, and he elaborated it quite well. Now you see, our main protagonist Frank right here has quite an interesting backstory. He's actually got a nice accent, if you can hear that beautiful aesthetic voice there, and he's actually from one of the more northern states. Now he was recently transferred in to Raccoon City after completing his training regime because his police sergeant found out that he'd actually been having an illicit affair with his wife. Now Frank, that's pretty bad, and I can kind of empathize with the guy for transferring you to Raccoon City, which is very far away from your current location. Our main character here, Frank, was wondering why the outside of the area was so trashy and was full of such amount of junk. Why weren't the garbage men cleaning anything up? But my friend Frank did actually elaborate on things, and apparently the garbage crew are still currently stuck trying to solve 6 doors. They're currently in a warehouse. Apparently they need a lion's head, a golden eagle, as well as 3 small lizards. And you see, Raccoon City's architecture is quite a little bit confusing for a workflow environment, and this is why there are such debris and such environments, and you can't really blame the worker force. We might have to start creating some unions here, try to get everybody behind the idea of puzzle-free doors. I mean, who the hell planned for that in a work environment? That just doesn't really make any sense. After gaining entry to the police department, which required traversing through the outside area and finding a crow, a hidden golden ingot, as well as an Irish dwarf, he was sexually assaulted, but a fellow police officer did help him from the sexual assault. This was a very kind and generous man that then provided Frank a combat knife so that he could defend himself against further encounters. After all the recent activity that had been happening romantically and intimately, however, in Frank's life, he had a psychological snap, and while traveling the hallways, he started to shoot at his fellow officers as well as civilians of the area. Now this is not a good start to your first day at work, Frank. I don't think arriving at your first job and then ending up shooting half the populace is exactly a job well done, but Frank, you are there to protect and serve, and I'm sure in some way you certainly did. Now, after all of this stressful activity, Frank wanted nothing more than just to apparently get a good regular snack from the vending machine. He was informed by the previous officer, Marvin, that there was one on the 2nd story floor, and so he decided he would go and traverse there. Now, upon arriving to the machine, he found a fellow officer who was clearly trying to steal all the snacks from the machine. Frank swiftly and abruptly backtracked. He found the armory keycard, got access to some kick-ass weapons, and he was ready to take on anything for this day to throw at him. He was absolutely tired of his life lately, and the clinical depression was starting to get to him. After backtracking, he killed his fellow officer, which I must say took quite a number of rounds due to the large amount of mass that was protecting the individual. It kind of acted as a sort of biological armor, if you would. But Frank dominated the situation and won his award, which was a beautiful chocolate bar and a refreshing soda drink. It seems like Resident Evil 2 is the exploration and journey of a rookie police officer who goes through a psychotic breakdown and starts killing innocent civilians and police officers, and then rummaging through the private documents of his fellow associates. It's quite an enthralling game journey, and that's a good synopsis. I do like the idea of that. It kind of mixes GTA, but with a more linear and more atmospheric story and narrative. You see, they would have actually had Frank in a psychiatric ward undergoing evaluation, but unfortunately the hospital staff are still trying to find the 3 treasures lost in the Amazon jungles thousands of years ago to gain access to the front door of the department. So we'll just have to wait for a 3-year ETA on that, and so far this is looking quite good for Frank. His first day at work has been quite a compelling one, and I just hope you guys are looking forward to playing the game. I hope you've enjoyed the video as always though guys, and if you have, please leave a like and a subscribe, share the video if you want to as well, and as always, I just hope you're having a beautiful day, take it easy, and peace.